This is The Point, news from noise, daily market call presented by Kattan Ferretti Financial. I'm your CEO, Brad Roth, and I look forward to having a daily discussion with you over the topics that we present in this note every single morning. So without further ado, The Point.
Good morning, Cameron.
Good morning, sir.
I heard you caddied last night.
I did. A little emergency backup, but Fear had to come in for a quick 9 holes. But
Great. We'll hear about. I want to hear all about that in sports. But fire away with the economic news first. What do we got today?
Today we got Citigroup. Has come out with a new acronym, Fantasy, for Facebook, Amazon, NVIDIA, Tesla, Alphabet, Salesforce.com, and Yahoo, which have a combined market cap of $1.8 trillion, rising 30% year to date. Oil prices fell to 7-month lows on Tuesday after news of increases in supply, a trend which has undermined attempts by OPEC and other producers to support the market through reduced output. Illinois may soon become the first state on record to have its bond rating cut to junk, and yesterday, New York Fed's William Dudley expressed optimism about the U.S. economy. He also signaled a willingness by the Fed to continue raising rates gradually. Still to come on the Fed speaker list this week, Eric Rosengren, Robert Kaplan, Jerome Powell, James Bullard, and Loretta Mester. Unlike Airbus, Boeing does not see the future of airplanes, including much, if any, demand for the largest four-engine jets. More than 30% of Americans said they have enough saved to cover 6 months' worth of expenses, which is a 7-year high for this measure of financial calamity preparedness. Tech stock weightings continue to rise in popular mutual funds. And looking outside the United States, European markets are higher following the United States as tech and consumer shares rise. The British pound traded lower as famed investor George Soros said that economic reality is catching up with the UK, where it is becoming clear that leaving the European Union will lead to lower living standards. Bank of England Governor Mark Carney said he is still worried about the impact of Brexit on the economy and signaled he won't be rushing to raise interest rates anytime soon. Negotiations for the UK to leave the EU kicked off yesterday with little fuss as the British team agreed to the EU's timetable for talks. Chancellor Angela Merkel said that Germany wants to improve free and fair trade and will try to get broad agreement on open markets at next month's G20. In Germany, producer prices were reported weaker than expected and Eurozone current account surplus narrowed, but there is little other data being released today across Europe. The UK's Serious Fraud Office said that Barclays and four former executives, including former CEO John Varley, are charged with conspiracy to commit fraud in relation to 2008 capital raising from Qatar. After the close of U.S. stock market trading, MSCI will say whether it will include some stocks traded in mainland China in its widely followed emerging markets index. Hong Kong shares retreated ahead of the decision, a potential sign that these Chinese stocks will not be allowed in the MSCI. Japan's Topix rose 0.7% to the highest since August 2015 amid weakness in the yen, and lastly Taiwan, which is home to a number of Apple suppliers, rose. Now, Bobby, what do you see going on with some of these asset prices and kind of where are valuations right now?
It's a real rinse-repeat here on commentary, buddy. When you start seeing new acronyms coming out, that's a behavioral sign that the market is overpriced for sure. But at the same time, you're still looking for catalysts and you're looking for process, right? Process is we need to wait and see what GDP data is next week, and we need to see mid to late July when earnings season kicks off, what earnings are actually doing for companies, right? That's when it really gets put into perspective. You see that mutual funds are becoming more and more heavily weighted in tech. They're usually a little late to the game and whatnot, so it's pardon me there. And but as you start to see their holdings in tech ramp up and ramp higher, you start to see more signs that valuations are getting too high. But we'll wait and see what earnings have to say. That'll dictate the entire direction of the market for the next 6 to 9 months, and so will GDP numbers. Tell me more about sports, man. What was it like being on the loop yesterday?
It was cool. I was working, and they played the Frank Fear Invitational yesterday at Pittsburgh Field Club, the first 2 rounds, and my buddy Will, his caddy, texted me and was like, hey, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to do 36 today. My back's killing me. So I was like, oh, crap. So I had to scoot out of work and go up and caddy. And it was pretty fun. Kind of a big event here in Pittsburgh. Only just 40 golfers. You got to be invited to play. So it's pretty neat. The score's pretty solid. 2 guys under par so far. The weather was tough. I know they had 3-hour rain delay. So
wow. Well, I remember in high school golf, I told my coach that my back was hurting me, and he gave me a nice pat on my stomach and said, hey, Bobby, it's not your back that's hurting you, it's your front. So nice reminder to drop some weight and don't eat 2 Subway subs a day for lunch. So I guess that's all we got this morning for The Point. Separating the news from the noise. And Cameron, what's today's date?
Today is Tuesday, June 20th.
Tuesday, June 20th. We'll see you all back here tomorrow.